think when most people are talking about the 2022 regulations, they're talking about a brand new car and what the influence of that brand new car is going to be. But there are a couple of changes on the PU side and they're quite important. We have an E10 fuel. What does that mean? It means the fuel now has to contain 10% ethanol and a sustainable version of ethanol as well. And also, the start of 22 is a freeze on the combustion engine in terms of performance, and later on during the season there's a freeze on the electrical systems in terms of performance as well. So the challenge this year has been to put all that together and get that all ready for the very first race and make sure that we're absolutely beautifully installed in what is now a completely new car for 2022. Every year we take a look at the power unit and the way that it sits inside the chassis in order to give us the best lap time. And with 2022 being an all-new chassis, what that means is that we have an opportunity to look at everything again. There are areas on the car which will be very sensitive to lap time, and there'll be other areas of the car which are less sensitive. And what we're trying to do with the PU is to make sure that we stay as far away as we can from the sensitive areas to give as much flexibility as possible for the car designers and to package parts of the PU into areas where there's less sensitivity. So what that means is working hand in glove with the chassis department, with all those engineers to make sure that the PU fits in exactly where it needs to make sure we can make the fastest overall package. Each year, when I look at the finished installation of the PU inside the chassis, it always astounds and amazes me exactly everything that's been fitted in and the way that it's done. And I always look at it and think there's no way we could do better than that. And then every year we do it again, and once again I think, crikey, there's no way we could have done it better than that. It's just a great overall continuing iteration of making things better and better. And what we've got the opportunity with the new car is to take a fundamental relook at things. And in some ways that gives us more opportunity and it sparks the enthusiasm and it sparks the imagination of the engineers even more to make that installation great. With the all-new chassis regulations, that meant that the opportunities and the areas of high sensitivity, we had to look all over again and see what they were and find out exactly what compromises should be taken chassis side and engine side in order to make the fastest lap time. And of course what that means is the team from Brackley, the team from Brixworth have to be incredibly close right from the start to make sure that the direction of travel we're taking is the correct one. There have been biocomponents in the fuel throughout the hybrid era. What we had was a requirement to have 5.75% by volume of biocomponents. The change this year is that percentage has gone up. It's gone up to 10%, and also instead of it being open what biocomponents you use, you've had to use ethanol. So the change to the biocontent to being ethanol, what that means is the engine is going to react slightly differently to the fuel. So there's some areas of the performance we're really happy with, and other areas where honestly we're less happy. And what we have to do is change the fuel where we can and change the hardware of the PU where we can in order to maximise the effect of the things we do like and minimise the effect of the things we don't. As in every year, when we're developing the fuel, it's a partnership between ourselves and Petronas to make sure that the fuel is enjoying the PU experience and the PU is enjoying the fuel experience. The change this year to go to the E10 is probably the largest regulation change we've had since 2014. So it was a sizable undertaking to make sure that we really developed that fuel, and the number of candidates that we had, the single cylinder running, the V6 running, shouldn't be underestimated how much work that took. The 2022 car is very different. We know the aerodynamics are different, and from all the things that we've been told and all the work we've done with the team here at Brackley, we believe that the car will be doing slightly different things and the requests from the driver will be different as they go through the corners than they were in previous years. We've got simulations, we've done all our calculations, and we've modified the engine and the way that the engine drives in order for us to be ready, and we'll be able to react to when the driver puts the power on, perhaps in a slightly different way, perhaps at a slightly different time. Of course, we're absolutely desperate to get to the first track test so we can see if those simulations are correct. Hopefully they will be. If not, we'll be ready to adjust the PU as necessary to make sure that the driver gets exactly what they want when they ask for it. So for the 22 season, the PU has a frozen performance spec. And what does that mean? It means that from the start of 2022 until the new PU, which we're expecting to come in 2026, the performance of the engine is frozen, and from midway through the year the performance of the electrical systems are also frozen from a performance perspective. So what that means is that we will not be able to bring performance upgrades during the year. It'll only be possible to do reliability upgrades. So with the new fuel, the freeze to performance of the PU over the course of the season, and the whole new car, the whole new aerodynamics and fitting the PU within it, there is a huge challenge for everyone involved, and especially the team up in HPP. Of course, that team is super excited to have those challenges, and we are really looking forward to the start of the season.